So, Michael, I love the fact that we don't meet up in conventional places really, like Spalding or Maidstone. Here we are in Anaheim, California, at the IFPA Global Produce and Floral Show 2025. Everyone loved your video that we did last year from Atlanta. I think it's this thing about two Brits out of position in the States.
We stick out.
But what I love about talking to you is, especially with your American connections, you have a really interesting, fascinating understanding of fresh produce on a global perspective. So let's look at this show. I don't know the numbers, but it's going to be 30,000 people. And we were just talking off camera about Cathy Burns, very well received state of the industry discussion yesterday with the main output, fight for fresh, and it's the best performance one word, the best delivery I've seen her do of her state of the industry for 4 years. That's just my view. What was your take from that?
I love Cathy Burns. I've never met her in person, but she's a fantastic speaker, and I think she's a really excellent advocate for the fresh produce industry. She can hold the room for 45-50 minutes, which not many people can do, deliver a really fantastic presentation. Yeah, she just underlined what a great opportunity there is for fresh produce right now. I think the stars are aligning for this sector. The health message, obviously, but the flavour, people are actually starting to think about what they're putting in their diet. More people are getting tested, realising they've got high cholesterol. There's more people getting closer to the diabetes spectrum. In Britain, there are obviously getting regulations on, HFSS foods and the like. So that's kind of combining to create a great opportunity for fruit and veg and people to consciously select it.
And can I just slightly cross the line? That had a bizarre thing when I stepped on the plane. There were two Americans getting on behind me who didn't know each other, but for some reason were openly talking about weight loss drugs.
Right.
And I don't know, might just be my perception, but everyone was very off it.
I know, what was the statistic about how many people? 13% of Americans have tried a weight loss, one of the weight loss drugs now.
So isn't that, again, advantageous to our sector? Because if they're not eating ultra-processed foods and they're using medication to lose weight, they want to eat whole foods. They want to eat fresh produce.
Well, I think they've got to, because you can't... I don't think these are relatively new, these drugs. I'm not sure anybody's going to want to necessarily commit to a lifetime of taking them. So it's got to go in hand with diet and exercise, I think. And I suppose if your appetite is suppressed and you want to feel better in your body, eating fruit and veg is a logical thing to do. And you combine in what the Lancet reports talked about and pushing plant-based diets. It's a natural connection to put good diet with the weight loss.
So therefore we should agree with Cathy about fight for fresh. And another segue, she was very heavily endorsing AI, and the IFPA are coming up with their own AI platform to benefit fresh produce, which is very interesting in itself.
Yeah. So, just before we move on from that, though, I'd love to mention the thing about the fresh produce prescriptions. They've been really pushing it in this country, and I think it's something we'd like to see more of in Britain and in other countries as well, linking the health message with diet, not just encouraging people to do it, but literally prescribing it as part of a healthcare message. And if we can get in with governments to subsidise, frankly, fruit and veg to especially people on lower diets, but full stop on anyone with conditions that need to get better, that's got to be a huge opportunity for the sector and a huge...
So come on, predict the future.
I won't lead on. You get a great outtake when I...
There's been two casualties at the RPA stuff. Predict the future. What do you think the sector's going to look like globally? Oh my God, such a big question. Globally in the next 3, 4, 5 years, what do you think it's going to look like with everything that you're seeing at the moment?
Well, the Lancet talked about a need for a 60% increase in global fruit and vegetables production. That seems a bit unlikely, but I can see it increasing. I can only see it increasing. People are looking at their diets, and it's got to go up, but it needs to come with support. Cathy talks about a lot of the challenges that are facing the industry. We know about the tariff situation, we know about profitability being a problem, and the need for the whole sector to work together. And what I liked actually that the IFPA has launched is a project called Supply Chain of the Future. And basically what it's about is getting everybody together. They're creating open source software basically that the whole industry can access. It's about, for once, not working in silos and genuine collaboration for the good of everybody. They're encouraging people to join retailers, suppliers, share their data, and creating open source, non-proprietary tools that the industry can use to analyse what they're doing, forecast better, reduce waste, get supply and demand better matched. And that's exactly the kind of project that's going to really help the industry move forward towards those goals.
And talking about moving forward, I've asked this to so many people, and absolutely, same question to yourself. You and your colleagues at Fruitnet Media and the Fresh Produce Journal, how can we assist you? How can we collaborate with you? How can we partner with you? Because we need you as our media to help promote the sector internally, but also externally. But how can we all help you?
Well, it's always the question of just talk to us, keep talking to us. We cannot get enough information.
Yeah.
We want to hear what everybody's doing, what new initiatives are you doing. You don't necessarily need to keep it quiet and then do some big reveal. Just talk to us, get a dialogue, share opinions with us. We love opinion columns. We love talking heads. We love any kind of news that the sector is doing. We want to share it with the industry.
Yeah. And it's a bit, I find it odd that the farming sector in the UK is very, very vocal. And you look at other publications or online forums, and it's very, very busy, and probably the same up to a certain extent with the likes of FMCG. But there's something a bit reticent about fresh produce, our community there. That there's so much that we could do if we come together and, as you say, get more involved with yourself.
Yeah, I think some people feel like they're an own label supplier or whatever. We know how commoditised the fruit and vegetable aisle is, and they say they feel like they don't need to shout about their achievements. They're worrying about upsetting their retailer or whatever. I wouldn't worry about those things. Like, if you're doing something positive, the retailer's going to be pleased about it. Chances are the retailer's already going to know about it anyway, and they should appreciate that reflected halo of what they're doing. So I don't think people need to keep quiet. We're seeing a changing in the way that companies communicate, in that it's a lot more PR-ified now, which has its upsides, but it also has its downsides. It's people are a little bit less willing to just talk to you on the phone and just tell you exactly what they're doing off the cuff, and then more likely to want to get it approved or signed off by however many people, which can be a little bit frustrating. I'd like to see people just be a bit more open and happy to talk through.
And I think the Americans are better at it than us. I interviewed the new IFPA chairman, Patrick, and I said to him, same question, how can we collaborate? He said, when we make the call to you, get involved. We'll be better together if we get involved. So it's the same with yourself. We need to get more involved with you and collaborate more with you.
Absolutely. Shout about your achievements. Be proud. You see it in other sectors of, you go to the dairy aisle, they're constantly shouting about their achievements, new launches, making a big deal of what they're doing. Some of the meat guys as well. Fresh produce, although I will say this show has been excellent for that. There's been, I think one thing they do very well here is they make a big deal about the connection between raw fresh produce and the finished product. So you can walk around here, you're seeing product cooked up, you're seeing new formats. I tried some carrot air fryer chips that are one of your 5 a day. Fantastic. Like, you're seeing some real great innovation, and I think we could see a little bit more of that in England.
Well done. The likes of Fruit Logistica and Fruit Attraction are great, but I think if people came to this one, so I think they'd if I go to the next one, I think they'd be blown away by the marketing aspects that we're seeing. So we can't be too parochial.
No.
And it is a worldwide community. They'd all be welcomed here, wouldn't they, to get involved?
Yeah, absolutely. The IFPA obviously is a relatively new organisation in its current form. It's only been going a few years following a merger of 2 other bodies, and they're now very much positioning themselves as a global organisation. They're asking people to come forward to get involved and create a much more global body, and they want to then obviously advocate for the industry and promote its needs. So there are lots of fantastic organisations in every country, and they all need to continue to speak up.
Come as well. Right, to wrap up, I asked you this question last year. Favourite fresh produce?
Favourite fresh produce? Let's see. I love pineapple. Tried fantastic watermelon juice here. Now, I can't say I'm a big watermelon eater. Every time I see them, I've got to buy watermelon. They're really good. So I'm changing my answer. And I'll tell you what else. Loving pears at the moment. I've had 3 or 4 pears this week. Talking to some of the pear guys, they're saying the sector's in a bit of a slump, frankly, globally. People aren't really getting enthused about them. They get overshadowed by apples. But ripe and ready pear is absolutely fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. The new ambassador for pears globally, Michael Barker. Michael, thank you.